Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, MaryAnne's Mystic Mentions. I'm MaryAnne. Welcome to your daily Sun Sign Love Connection reading. And welcome to October 26th, 2020. So, you know what? We've been around the astrology wheel twice and we're going around it again. I thought about trying something a little new for the last 5 days and I thought, nope, it's not the time. Not only because we're in retrograde with Mercury and Mars, but yeah, some things came up. So very Mercury retrograde-ish. I'll talk to you about it later. Today we're going to start back with Aries, like I like to go Aries to Pisces for the main sun sign that I read about. And then the highlighted relationship connection will be with, wow, that's interesting. It could be 3 of them, but I know what it's been in the past, so I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to repeat the 2 last main connections for Aries. So right now it looks like, gosh, I don't even know what to say. Sagittarius. Woohoo! 2 fire signs right here. And I love this combination, and I know many Sagittarius Aries connections. And it's going to be very obvious when I just speak about it. So I know you know what I'm speaking of, but for those that are new and you're not really even familiar, and this connection in whatever way of love it is kind of, you know, new, and you're not aware of all the variables about connections with these 2 sun signs, you're here at the right place. So I'll read, of course, I'll talk a little bit, I should say, about the 2 sun signs I mentioned for the highlight, and I'm going to read 3 major category tarot energy messages. And I'm using the Art Nouveau Tarot to the end of the month, and then I switch it up. And I also read a couple of beautiful oracle messages at the end, so stick around. And I change those up too every month because I'm getting more. You know, I got a few for gifts recently, and I love them. I think you'll find them very empowering and very, I don't know, insightful and encouraging, and all the things that I want to bring in this channel. So after I've done that, I'm also going to pick a tarot energy reading card for every other single sign in the zodiac in connection with Aries. So let's get started. I hope the lighting is okay. I hope that you're doing well. I feel super blessed from the moment I walk in that door. I feel this energy in my sacred space, and I want to share that with you. And I want it to be that too, because I've had a lot of things happening. As I said, very Mercury retrograde-ish, but important and, you know, big time things that I can't ignore. And apparently I'm not supposed to. I'll be real quick about it. My refrigerator broke. And it actually happened 3 months ago during the last Mercury retrograde and the whole season and the eclipses. And it was like, oh, it was very unsettling, right? I wasn't working though. And so, to make a long story short, I emptied it out, gave away food, did what I could, and everything, ordered one. It's a lot now to order refrigerators, just any appliances during the COVID thing is kind of crazy. It's going to take a month to get the new one I got. But the next day, my refrigerator in July started working, and I was like, what? So I canceled the order, and I've had it for 3 months. So I would consider that a blessing, but see, retrogrades bring things back that haven't been attended to. I've had the refrigerator 17 years. I feel blessed I had that time, and I'm blessed, counting my blessings every second. And I also like to share these things because I too have issues. I too go through these things, and I like sharing them when I've gone basically through them to the other side, so that you realize when you're feeling very defeated, as I do at times, there's always something that can come through. And it's interesting when you're working with other people too. There's a lot of things to balance, right? And I'm a Libra, I get the balance. And so that's just one of the things. But I want to read the readings for you and just know, that you got to keep that stiff upper lip. The Mercury retrograde leaves us on November 3rd. So yeah, there's more. But I will just tell you that Aries is a beautiful, fiery, passionate, bold, powerful, confident sign, fire element, motivated, motion-oriented cardinal sign, which is about movement and initiative. You know, they're the first sign of the zodiac. They definitely like to keep it moving. They initiate a lot of things. They like to be in charge. You know, they do have they're not a fixed sign, they're the cardinal. But being first, they like to be that leader, you know, and unless she's got something better to offer, you know, they're probably going to go with what they're intending on going with, which, by the way, is usually not a bad thing. It's usually pretty darn good, and it's usually pretty fast moving, so you got to keep up with them. And, you know, maybe there'll be hiccups along the way because they didn't maybe look into it or really think about it too strongly beforehand. So, you know, it's right there, and maybe something may have to be changed, particularly in retrograde. Just so happens we also have Mars in retrograde in Aries. That's a very fiery planet, and it's very aggressive, and it's the war planet, the planet of war, you know, and anger and just, you know, aggression. I don't know, just what we've been seeing in the world, fires, literal fires, you know, and knock on wood for that, because we had this major windstorm last night, and I haven't heard yet. I had a lot of errands to do this morning and stuff, but I want to believe it's not as intensely bad as they might have thought it was for the fires. And so and I put those blessings out every day for everybody as a Reiki master healer. I just send that restorative energy over the planet and see it as being, you know, in light and love. And the more of us that do that, the better, right? Because I know there's people out there watching that you know exactly what I mean. And thank you for your contribution. And before I forget, thank you for being a part of this channel and supporting me and making me feel the love that I do, because it's carried me so far. And I really, really like it. And I wanted to say need it. And I will say that, because in spiritual lingo, you know, it's not necessarily that we need love, you know, it feels good. But to be too needy is another issue, right? It kind of repels that. But nevertheless, you know, speaking of love and passion, I mean, that's an Aries for you. I've loved the Aries I've met. I just appreciate their confidence and their self-confidence, awareness, you know, ability to help, wanting to help others. They really care a lot. They do have short tempers at times, and they can just, especially now, like I said, with the Mars retrograde in your sign Aries, but hang in there, because it's going forward on the 13th of November. So just under 3 weeks, you know, and then it'll have been in retrograde, so you got to build up that steam and stamina, but it will happen. Fast forward moving to November compared to this month. Trust me on that. Try to be patient, because it's about kind of just holding back. Things are being restrained, you know. Saturn went forward, retrograde, and it's hard. It's hard for fire signs in particular. I know that, but it's okay, because we're going to talk about this beautiful connection with yours today, or beautiful, you know, love connection, and it's Sagittarius. So the two of you are fire signs, and you get this energy thing. You get how it's like, wow, what is happening? Why can't I move forward? What are all these obstacles? But you're kind of intrigued by obstacles. I'm not going to lie. Of all the signs, like for example, Sagittarius, fire element, ruled by Jupiter, which is very, very optimistic and very positive and very fortunate, and they say lucky, and you know, there's a lot of opportunity that comes with Jupiter, and Jupiter tends to expand all the things that it touches. This year, unfortunately, it's been aligned with Pluto, and of course Capricorn, and you know, that was about, the Pluto is all about transformation, change, breaking away from tradition. And Capricorn is all about tradition and institutions and, you know, old ways of doing things. And then there's the reality that Pluto represents disease and all the variables that are exactly what is happening with the alignment of the planets this year, as it did in the last major pandemic in the 1800s, you know. It's just, I'm sorry, it was 1918. I apologize. Yeah, so anyway, not to get too deep into that, because I like to really kind of rise from that now and know that there's changes coming, they're continually going to come, and we're going to work through all of it, and we're going to get in a better place and sort things out. And that's what you want to see. But Sagittarius is that kind of thinking. It's forward thinking. It's believing in the truth coming through, the truth, you know, and fighting for it. Very activist type of sign as well. Sagittarius is all about movement like you are, you know. I mean, they literally have to move. They're half man, half horse. So there's this energetic thing that's always associated with most Sagittarius I've ever known. And they want to exercise, you know, from a very early age on. They have to get that energy out. It'll get stagnant. It'll cause issues physically and then mentally and so forth, like with all of us, but more predominantly in Sagittarius or other fire signs. So I'm thinking with this connection, and they're also mutable signs, so they're very, very adaptable. They love to travel. They like to go places and learn all sorts of beautiful, wonderful, important things that can change the world, the higher learning aspect, that can really, really just change worlds, you know, change minds and help to teach that in people. You know, because unless you're educated about certain things, you're just not going to know. And their goal is to absolutely make that happen for the best, you know, the highest good. So the two of you together are thinking, wow, have you noticed how you've just been kind of, oh, my energy's one, I'm just kind of, and you're like, yes, I do, but I'll tell you what, why don't we just go have some fun and go on a vacation or something? Because that's the best thing the two of you can do. And I feel like a lot have done that. I know in my own personal life, I know a lot of Aries and Sagittarius, and that's exactly what's happening. And I'll be honest with you, I just started working not quite 2 weeks ago, right, after so long. And I really want to go away. I'm going to cry now. And I'm really happy for the people and my clients that are saying, I'll see you in a few, but I got to go on and do my thing. I'm going to Hawaii and all this. And I'm thinking, that's beautiful. And I'm thinking, wow, that'll be something to really look forward to again, because I will do that. It's making those plans. I have an Aries moon. I also like to be going and doing and moving, you know. So slow and steady, though, is what I'm trying to emphasize for everybody, but for the two of you. And keep that positive optimism going. You know, there's that freedom-seeking part of Sagittarius that you can totally appreciate, because you have that independent freedom side to you too, Aries, even in relationships. So that can be honored and supported as well. And I'm talking friendships and, you know, work partnerships and family relationships, they should be doing very well on a one-to-one basis kind of thing, you know, with this more emotional introspection kind of deal and working through things that aren't necessarily going well. We had, 2 full moons this month. And the first one was in Aries. On the first, that was very powerful and fiery, and I felt that very strongly. Then the new moon on the 16th in Libra, and I'm a Libra, so it was this balancing and just the fairness in relationships. Working through stuff, you know. Yes, some of them ended. I mean, that would be crazy to say that doesn't happen. But that's a good thing in a lot of ways. People know that, you know, and that just helped bring it to pass. But a lot of times the new moon is absolutely about those intentions that you want to start a new situation, a new job, a new relationship, a new move, a new leveling up kind of energy. And we're finishing with the full moon on this coming Saturday, October 31st in Taurus. Taurus is ruled by Uranus. No, it's not. It's ruled by Venus. Uranus is in Taurus. Forgive me. A lot of unexpected surprises that could be phenomenal, and other ones that are going to knock your socks off, I'm not going to lie. Like my refrigerator. I'm just getting a little taste of it ahead of time. It's all being taken care of, though. So that is what I'm understanding and really liking about this connection. It's always been a very positive one. Of course, there's going to be times that that's not the case. I mean, you know, this is a general reading, but I think it's really, for the most part, 90% of the times, a very, very complementary, beautiful connection. So let us read the first 3 categories for the two of you as the highlighted connection, and I like it. So the very first card is always going to be the overall energy that's like the catalyst of you coming to this reading. It is today, October 26th, and now as we have 5 days left, it's going to be predominantly about this day and then the remainder and into the next month. But then I'll be reading your beginning of the month and mid-months again next month. So with different highlighted connections. So come on back. There's always something to see. If this isn't the highlighted connection you chose, you'll get an information in here as well. So we've got, for the first card, the 5 of Cups. Now this is interesting. It is the cups. The cups are the water elements. We are in Scorpio season. Happy birthday, all beautiful Scorpios. I have a couple of birthdays I need to acknowledge after this. for today. 26 is an 8. That's a very powerful, beautiful, lucky number. And so there's emotion involved here in this relationship. There's a feeling of sadness and loss that I think every single one of us in some form has experienced this year. And I'm deeply feeling of that, and I send you love for your healing, because it's different for everybody. And if it's a job or, you know, someone that you love or any of those, it's all a process that we need to grieve and get through. And that's what's being shown here. But at the same time, you've got the Two of Cups standing right behind this person. So yeah, there's always help. You know, the cups can be filled. You can continue to create and to dream, which is that watery element that comes through, and energies. And, you know, never giving up. And I would say the two represent the unity and partnership. Hanging in there, you know, consoling and caring and loving each other. That'll get you through pretty much anything. And so that is the overall, like I said, energy coming through. But then the second, and this came up yesterday, I'm telling you, I shuffled very much. And there's a lot of repeats, so it tells me something, you know. But this is the overall, excuse me. Whew. Whew. Excuse me. Thank you, I apologize. Maybe the wind, who knows. This is the possible obstacles or blessings, and you have the Ace of Cups. So this is absolute blessing. This is real love and emotion. So the two of you have got something going right. And I'll tell you what, it is, it's new, it's invigorating. It's, even if you've been in a relationship for many years, it is awe-inspiring. And once again, creativity comes through, emotion, love, depth of feeling. Fire signs have great passion and emotion, but added to the heart and the sensitivity that's in every one of us, which this brings out. This feels like some wonderful possibilities and things coming through. And it could be just a leveling up in your relationship, you know, taking it to the next level, from friend to commitment, from commitment to engagement, from engagement to who knows anymore. And I don't know what labels to say, and a lot of times people don't like that, but you get where I'm going. This is beautiful. And it feels very, very strong. It feels like there's a lot of happiness involved with that. So of course I like saying and reading and expressing that to you. Then we have the third category, which is finances, stability, you know, the things that we physically see or that are tangible. And, you know, that obviously has to do with finances. And you have the King of Cups, Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces. So very much in the energy of the water, you know, just really wanting to just feel saturated. What is that word where you just feel so, let's go with hydrated. You feel the hydration. You feel just complete. You feel fulfilled. You feel like you have, your cups are filled. There's the energy of maturity with the king, and generosity comes out of it between the two of you, between others. You just want to give. And when you give, you do receive. And that's the thing about water. It's all the receptive energy, you know, that feminine quality in us. We want to nurture and care, and it's really looking good for finances. And they may have stopped, but the new moon in Libra could have initiated a lot of things that, even if they're not happening this moment, trust me, with the full moon bringing everything to light, and then everything going forward next month, thank goodness. Instant change in energies for everybody. As long as you're patient and you're keeping your cool, it's all going to be just fine. And come back here and let me inspire you in that way, because take it from somebody who has many challenges to deal with and work with and overcome, just like anybody, you know. But it's beautiful when they do, and you know that it's divinely guided, because it is. We create it though, and we co-create. So don't ever think that you're not a huge part in what's happening, because you really, really are. Now I'm going to go on to the individual, other zodiac signs and their energy tarot message, because there's a lot of you and there's a lot of connections. And so I know a lot of Aries has many social connections, so this should be very appropriate for you specifically. And so we're going to start going around. I'll say, I kind of want to go clockwise, counterclockwise. Let's go to Capricorn and Aries. Okay, so Capricorn and Aries is a very interesting but very positive connection, because it's very different, but the strength that comes from Aries coupled with the strength of the earth element of Capricorn is quite powerful. I mean, that's the word that comes to mind. There is such determination and will and capability to succeed. Capricorns are very, very driven. Also a cardinal sign, which is complementary to the cardinal aspect of Aries. Aries generates the beginning season of spring, the first sign, the first season. And Capricorn represents the cardinal energy and beginning of winter coming up. Also, this has been the year Capricorn, let me tell you, because Jupiter and all the major planets I mentioned, all these configurations, they happen, on occasion, but the way it's happened this year hasn't happened for hundreds of years, is what I'm reading, and then it's not going to happen for literally another 800, not in your lifetime. But it's made a lifetime impression, we have to admit that. So, and Jupiter has been in Capricorn, and all of that is going exact again, all those planets, on the 12th of November. So that'll be the third and final time this year. It's very impactful. It's very transformational. It's about newness, starting fresh and over, and cleansing and purging, and it's for our good. And I love that. It's hard during the time it's happening a lot of times, but it's always for the betterment. So that's the thing to always keep in mind. And then, so yeah, there's the mutable aspect to Capricorn, so they're very adaptable, incredibly hardworking, very reliable, very efficient, and very resourceful with money and such. So I feel partnerships of all kinds with this dual here, this interesting but beautiful dynamic connection. And so your energy is you, Aries. You're really just feeling powerful. It doesn't matter that you have retrograde Mars in your sign, because you still are extremely strong and powerful and energetic, even with the changes in the energy and the setbacks and hold-ups for now. Authority, power, strength, paternal influences, generally, we've got Empress as the feminine, maternal. Aries is the Emperor and the paternal. So there might be a lot of male energy or, influences happening in this relationship right now. Family, friends, what have you. But that's pretty strong, but it's also very, very powerful, and it can have amazing things happen. I mean, this is not a symbol of any kind of weakness or giving up, is what I want to say, or quitting. That's not even in the picture, not even in the mind of Aries. So keep it going. Then we go with Aries next in Aquarius. So this is beautiful. I believe I read I read every day, so I'm remembering all the different readings now. But Aquarius is an air sign, so air is about the mind. Air is a masculine, energy, because we're thinking, and they're always trying to, grow and expand in their thoughts, in their education, and they want to share and teach others. They want to work in groups and be the leader and the facilitator of making huge, big changes in our world. End of story, bottom line. I could just cut it right there. They're ruled by Uranus. And like I said, the moon is going to be in Taurus, which is being ruled by Uranus right now. So, electrifying kind of stuff. And surprises out of nowhere. That's what they've been living with their whole life. That's the ruling planet. But in addition to that, there can be some phenomenal things that happen, because Uranus is also ruling technology and science and all the beautiful things that have come in our lifetime that I can't even believe is, you know, from having the phone on the wall with the cord to where we are now. It's not that many years, and it's in a lifetime, right? So many changes, many more to come. It can be beautiful, beautiful things that'll just help our lives even more. And honestly, this time during the shutdown and everything, I mean, what would we have done without the internet and the ability to Zoom and to connect in that way? Because I know I need to connect. I know a lot of you do. And that was amazing and so beautiful. We didn't have that in the last pandemic, I'll tell you that much. So this is a beautiful energy because you both have this desire to really make things happen. You know, you're so determined. You think big, you know, and you want it to happen now. You don't want it to wait. You want to break the barriers, you know, the Aquarians. They want to start new, inventive things and innovative things, and they're hugely have big hearts. They love to be fair and just, and they're very emotional but detached. So it's weird because, you know, I've met so many. I have a sister that's an Aquarius. She could cry at the drop of a hat, and yet she has that detached part because she's in her mind all the time, thinking of what to do next. What do I write next? How do I express myself? How's the best way to reach people? Through that mind. So I like this a lot, and it has its differences, but I think they're really can be useful to each other, and I think they can be very, very passionate and intimate on that regard. So what do you have here? There you have the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands represents the fire element. This is the maternal, and this is the absolute passion. And I'm telling you, when it comes to the Queen of Wands, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, they get the job done. It's going to happen, okay? And if they can help you in the process, they absolutely want to do that. They are very, very heart-centered and very determined to do that. So that's what I'm seeing for the two of you. You're going to make stuff happen, boy. You have that fire and passion and strength to do so. So then we move on to Aries and Pisces. I love this a lot. You know, Aries is that fire and Pisces is the water. And what do you get when, you know, scientifically you add water and fire together? You get steam and you get boiling water. So there's a lot of passion here. There's a lot of tension that's created with this, which we all need in our relationships. You need that really good balance of it, though. You know, too much is like it'll break. Too little, it's not exciting enough, right? Always kind of teetering in a way, which kind of keeps things going. I see these fire and water combinations continuously for that very reason, because I know I like a little excitement too. I don't want a lot of drama right now, but I love excitement. And I like to get that excited butterfly feeling inside. And you're going to get that. And you know, Pisces is incredibly sensitive and tender and selfless and caring and artistic and creative. And they are ruled by Neptune now. That used to be Jupiter, but Neptune. And that's been in their sign for a while. It's been in retrograde. So there's a lot of confusion and kind of cloudy, obscure, hidden things that aren't really not everything is being seen for what it really is now. Makes sense? Kind of hits it right on the nose, doesn't it? That's what happens when Neptune is in our lives, and certainly in Pisces. We also have the moon in Pisces right now, so if you're feeling a little more emotional, a little more sensitive, that's what's going on. And the two of you can be extremely useful because that fiery part of Aries can be kind of tamed by the beautiful, watery, you know, tends to put out that fire, right? You don't want to put it out all the way, but you want to kind of have it be a smaller little smoldering candle as opposed to a big flame. And they know how to do that. Very psychic and intuitive, and they get you. They really, really do. So your energy message for the two of you, Tarot, is the Nine of Wands. Okay, so this is just a lot of work, a lot of responsibility. Almost like a burdensome feeling, right? This is what I love about the Nine of Wands, ending the completions, the nine or the end of that. It's time to put down those burdens for both of you. And both of you are capable of working overly and tirelessly, right? Burning the oil at both ends, you know, and just burning out. You don't want to do that. You want to start delegating those responsibilities. And the 9 is the end of it. You know, there's the bandage around the head of just like, oh, wow, this is a lot. I understand that. I understand, and I have a Pisces rising. I understand, even if it's just being at home and taking in all the information or the feelings of what's happening and the sadness and confusion. You know, that's part of it too. But the wands are about making it happen and changing. And you've been doing a lot of that. So let us just take this time once again for the two of you to end this now and to start anew and to take some time to reflect and relax and retreat during these retrogrades. So then we have Aries and Taurus right next to each other. Very strong-willed, very much, you know, different energies, different way of approaching life. Fire is, you know, action and movement and power and strength and motivation. And Taurus is power and strength and motivation, but it's grounded and it's more, it's just, you know, steadfast, structured, not so fast moving, pretty predictable, pretty reliable, all of the things that come with the earth signs, but very capable. And as they say, you know, what do they say before I say it? Who won the race? The tortoise or the hare? I think it was the tortoise. Yeah, that hare was quick as can be, and I don't remember the details, but bottom line is the tortoise that was more steady and more patient. And let's face it, Aries aren't the most patient sign. They get stuff done though, but they may have to do it twice because they didn't think about those details and they were just rushing right for it, right? You know what I mean, Aries. I do the same thing. I have the Aries moon. I get you. Taurus is going to get to that finish line and they're going to be extremely wealthy, and they're going to be living in luxury because they are ruled by Venus, and that's what that's all about. That's about money, love, passion, beauty, you know, all the wonderful things that the Venusian energy of Venus creates. And by the way, Venus is in Virgo, which is very complementary to you right now, Taurus. That's your fellow Earth. So you're feeling pretty good right now anyway, and that's rubbing off on the Aries. So you guys could be having some really good times right now. And many times in the future, it's just learning to live and work with the differences that you have, which a lot of people do. I've been doing it forever. I know you can as well. And then tomorrow, actually, Venus goes into Libra, and that Libra's ruled by Venus. So yeah, you both have that going for you. There should be beautiful feelings happening now. A lot to be thankful for, regardless of what's going on, because if you're here and you're well, that's everything, right? The energy reading message for you is, it's the 4 wands. It is the ultimate in security and foundation, and it's fiery because that's what got it there. It had to have that movement. You had to be working towards it. But then there's the earth that kind of enters into it because you put those wands into the earth and they stay there and they're stable and they're secure and they're not going anywhere. And that's what happens with earth connections anyway. They're very, very interested in hanging around. And they like the permanent aspects of life. They don't want to change much. And why not? You know, if it's good, why fix it? So that's going on, but that's beautiful. That could be marriage. That could be unity of family coming through. Happy, happy, happiness. So good for you. You know, I love saying that. Then we have Aries and Gemini. Hey, another really cool element combination because you have fire and air. And they always work well together. They kind of, you know, the air can be blown and the fire can, you know, help it to grow. And the air is about, once again, the mind and the expression. You know, you need air to breathe, to be able to talk and to communicate. And trust me, Gemini loves to communicate. And they're really good at it. And they do it in written form or, you know, physical, verbal, I should say. Certainly through technology, they're a whiz at a lot of that. They know a lot. They're very educated. They're very analytical. They're ruled by Mercury. Communication might be even more, you know, confusing right now during Mercury retrograde when your planet is a Mercury, because it's retrograde and it's going to slow things down. It's going to make you have to double check things. And, you know, if you're traveling, make sure you double check your plans. Allow for some delays and you're good to go. You know, bring a book. The two of you can be very, very complementary and have a lot of good ideas together. You can build great partnerships and friendships and certainly love relationships. And, you know, the Gemini is a mutable sign, so they're very adaptable. And that's important to, Aries. They want somebody that's kind of easy, you know, they've got things to do and they want to support, but you can't tie them down, though. You got to be kind of capable of adapting. Now, you have the major arcana of the devil. That's not something that everyone wants to see. I get it. And that I'm a Catholic, or raised Catholic. I don't follow it anymore, but I kept with me some of the important fundamental aspects of it that I think it's hard not to when you've been raised in it like I was. And this represents Capricorn, which I mentioned very clearly. We've got the main, you know, planets in Capricorn. So it's about, now Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. I don't know if I mentioned that when I was talking about the connection with Aries and Saturn. Saturn is our taskmaster. Saturn is the one who gets us and keeps that whip and makes sure we're in shape, and it kind of constricts things and doesn't let us have as much freedom or ability to do things we might normally do. But trust me, you'll be grateful in the end. And this is a reminder. Stay on task for now and you will not be sorry. You know, be careful of who you're surrounding yourself with. Be careful of what you're doing to your body, what you're putting in your body. If there's any, what's it called when you have vices or things that we rely on because we don't want to be in our mind and we want to be escaping, which I've certainly done in my life. Not anymore, but I definitely was a part of that. So it's understandable, but it doesn't really do any good because it fades and you're right back where you were, and sometimes even worse. Just a reminder to love yourself and don't get too hard on yourself, and the two of you will be just fine. Then you go on to Aries and Cancer, and this is really beautiful. But once again, there's the water and the fire, okay? It's very attractive to each other. And you know, Cancers are sensitive. They're ruled by the moon. They have a lot of energies and feelings they're going through with the 3-moon month. Being ruled by the moon, they have to go through all of that internal feeling of the cycles and the, you know, the ebb and flows of life and relationships, and they just want to retrieve and be safe, and they care about those deeply that they love, and they want to keep them close to them, and they love being in love, and they kind of almost want to be possessive of that love, but you got to be careful. It's because they want to nurture and take care of the people they love so very much, but they also can be very independent and very capable of working and doing whatever they put their mind to, very intuitive and so forth. So, but this is that tension thing, you know, with the water and the Aries. And you have the 10 of Pentacles. That's beautiful. That is the ultimate. That's security. That's really important to that Cancer and to Aries. And it's just that sense of fulfillment and family life. And like I said, that's number one for Cancer. Certainly, I know Aries. With an Aries moon, I mean, my kids were absolutely number one. They still are. And they've been out of the house for years. Mama bear. But it feels good to have that love for somebody, you know, and to care about someone else that dearly. So this is beautiful. And I'm excited. And 10 is a new cycle. So beautiful, beautiful energies coming through with your connections, Aries. Then we go on to Aries and Leo. Just like Sagittarius, different. But there's that fellow fire element. Boy, power. You know, Leos are ruled by the sun. They're so, you know, strong, and their egos they just want everybody to recognize just how good they are, and they usually are amazing, and you can't help but recognize them. They kind of have that glow. They also have this amazing, undeniable mane, like a lion, in their hair. And if it isn't their sun sign, that you can bet your bottom dollar there's something in their planet, their chart, that is in Leo, because I've seen it every time. It's one of the quickest ways I know what signs certain people are, is their physical attributes. And gorgeous, attractive, capable, talented, creative, heart of gold, very passionate. Also can flare up in an instant and let it go just as quickly. They want to be heard, you know. They've got great dignity, and anything they touch, they want it to be looked at in a positive. They want it to be the best, okay, because it's a reflection of them. And they will give wholeheartedly to those they love. And you have the Empress. That's Pisces. And that is about our deepest and knowing intuition. You know, we can read the paper, we can listen to, you know, the news and different medias all you want. But let me tell you, when it comes right down to it, what you feel and know inside is the absolute. It is the guide that will never, ever lead you astray when you have the confusion, which I certainly have. I've had to turn it off. I think, wow, I'm more confused than I've ever been in my life. That's a beautiful indication for you too. It makes me feel like you understand each other intuitively and instinctually, and it's really beautiful. So I like that. And so messages of maybe come into your dreams. We have the thinner veil during October. Certainly around, you know, Halloween is always notoriously known for that. Put out those ideas and intentions and watch them grow. And believe, okay? And you've got that new moon, so it could have started between the two of you, something that you're really wanting to, something that's more internal, you know? And yeah, Aries has retrograde. Of course, they're more internal. So there's been some interesting, beautiful revelations of the highest kind. So then we go on to Virgo and Aries. And I'm telling you, I already pulled this out, but I love it. And I'll read it to you in a second. I love this because it's very different, but it also very much works. Virgo is, once again, the earth element. Fire is the Aries, very, very different. Virgo has Venus in their sign for another day, and they've had it for a good 3 weeks. So a lot of love and energy of beauty and kind of that magical feeling you get. You feel better, you look better. People see you as quite attractive and, you know, very capable, very caring sign. Mutable sign, very adaptable, hardworking. Oh my gosh. I mean, so knowledgeable and ruled by Mercury. So once again, maybe a little bit of confliction with appointments in your business or communications, you know, which happens, transportation during Mercury. I've had every single one of those. So just know that. And you know, we're getting through it. We're almost there. It's next week, election day. Go figure. Very, very useful and helpful to each other. Very important to you, Aries, to have somebody that you can rely on and that keeps you feeling grounded, you know, in that beautiful natural way. Very genuine, very authentic. 8 of Cups. So this one comes up, and I say the same thing, especially for this year. A lot of interest in letting go of the hurts and the past emotional upsets from this year. I know for one, I'm not saying I want to deny it. I'm not saying I want to act as though it's not occurred. I don't think I could possibly do that if I wanted, but I will be honest in saying, like with this reading and this particular card for the two of you, it's looking ahead now. You know, we've all gone through this. We've all been through a lot, and it gets to be where it's like, okay, I'm ready to look forward. This is changing every moment. Sometimes it seems like it's taken forever, but little by little, we're working towards that point that we knew we wanted from the moment we heard the news that, you know, we needed to change our lives. So bearing and keeping that in mind, you don't necessarily ever forget, but you want to just not dwell. And it is emotional. So, you know, it will be a part of your heart. And how you choose to utilize that, or the healing process or whatever it is different for everybody, but you absolutely want to go forward with passion and drive and determination, which is the key component to both of you anyway. And you've got the full and the new moon there to guide you and to continue going forward and through all the transitions. That's a powerful, beautiful card, really. Then we have Aries and Libra, polar opposites. I love it. I love Aries. I'm a Libra. We were in Libra season up until last week, and you know, Libra's a balance. They're an air sign. They definitely are way in their mind all the time, looking at all different angles and strategizing and trying to figure out the best way to express their feelings and then listen to others' expressions and finding that balance, you know, and that equilibrium and equality, fairness, justice, you know, truth, love, companionship is huge. I don't know. I like this a lot. And I know that I love that fiery energy and motivation that I get from Aries, and every single one, not just once in a while. Every one has something that's attracted me. And what was I going to say about that? Well, I don't remember, but I will say that it's a long-term relationship if you choose for it to be. And this has been very highlighted with Mars in retrograde and then during Libra season. And Venus goes into Libra tomorrow, so it's also once again going to be very much about relationships. And being the polar opposite is very much a magnetizing type of thing. So what you have, ooh, Four of Cups. Well, emotion. A lot of emotion. Like what was happening that made you feel like you were at a loss? Is it someone in your family? Is it some emotional thing that you still haven't quite gotten over from a loss, you know, and it didn't have to be this year? And you're really kind of feeling sad, but you've got that cup coming to you out of the sky from the co-creation and the love of the universe and divine intervention. And it has to do with the two of you offering you happiness, fulfillment, you know, and really wanting it. You both want it. And that's absolutely beautiful, looking at the silver lining, looking at the blessings right in front of us at all times, no matter how small they are. I think that's a beautiful message for the two of you. It's just a wonderful reminder. And then Aries and Sagittarius, Aries and Scorpio. Very, very, very attracting to each other, time and time again. Fire and water. We're in Scorpio season. Scorpio is deep, and Scorpio goes way inside, and he's ruled by Pluto, and that's, like I said, the transformation of all transformations. This is what has ruled Scorpio from day one. They fully understand the need to dig deep, remove the stuff that's not working, that feels less than, in others, in themselves. They want to initiate that in others. They want to start again, rejuvenate, reinvent themselves, which happens a lot with Scorpios. There's power and great tenacity and drive and determination with this beautiful water sign. Very much an intellect sign too, even for water. They understand the human psyche, and they're very, very capable of feeling and kind of reading and sensing what's going on with you. And you may not know that about them. You sense a mysteriousness and you're thinking, I want to know more about that. They kind of pull you in. No question about that. Very, very caring and loyal. I can't see this as being anything but worth the experience and the adventure. And you have the Queen of Cups. There's the water. The Queen of Cups is the ultimate in the, once again, maternal. The Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. But every sign, every one of us has the feminine and the masculine. And right now it's all about that with the moon and the receptivity that it creates. Fully giving, fully, deeply allowing this relationship to happen, to expand and to be vulnerable. Not a word that I would necessarily equate to either the Scorpion or the Aries, but that's what's happening. Use it and utilize it, because it feels so good to be vulnerable. You know, you don't always have to be on top of everything and know everything at all times, and it's heavy and it's burdensome. So with the retrograde in Scorpio as well, and including Scorpio season, they're really, really going inside and really fully understanding. And I think it's always super important during a season to do that, to start their new year ahead, right? They're probably reviewing everything from the past and going forward for the new. So those are your connection readings for every other zodiac sign. And there's some beautiful potential and I think very insightful and uplifting messages. So I hope that you resonate with those. That means a lot. If you have not subscribed, please do me the favor of doing that. Now, I don't require it necessarily. I'm not trying to ever push anybody. It has to be feeling like you really resonate. And I will be here every month, so you can definitely come back. And I'm here every day. But, you know, the main highlighted sun sign and the main sun sign and then the highlighted is going to change every day. And I do go around the zodiac wheel for the main one, so you'll have an idea. And you maybe want to be reading about someone else or what have you, but in order to do that, you do need to subscribe. Also, YouTube likes it, and they do have this thing where you have to have so many subscriptions and so many hours watched for you to be able to get to the next level. It's kind of like, I guess, a video game. I don't know, I don't play them, but you know, I have to play the game in a way because that's what's required. And this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, whereas I won't be able to do massage for the rest of my life. So I'm planning ahead, and your help and support in that would be greatly and immensely appreciated. Liking, sharing, all that good stuff. So let me pull your beautiful oracle message from the Wisdom of the Oracle by Call It Baron Reed. Absolutely love this deck. It's still new. I have only received it just over 2 weeks ago. This wanted to come out. There's two, so I'm going to do the top one. This is for all the Aries, the beautiful Aries, the powerful Aries, and all your connections for today, October 26, 2020 and onward. Chop wood. Boy, does that sound like Aries. Not even really knowing, just like keeping it busy, man, keeping it moving, right? 42 is number 6, and 6 is about balance in all things. The 6th house has to do with our health, our well-being, our jobs, our everyday to-day activities, you know, balancing work and relationships and so forth. You see a broom with a face on it, like from Cinderella almost. Let's see what the message has to say for you. It seems a bit ominous in a way, but we'll see. So we've got 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope, 8. All right, not for you. Essential meaning. Wait a minute, I'm so sorry. I said 6 because it's 42. Bear with me. We will make this happen. Oops, 43, okay. I was like, not for you? What? Apparently that's a card in here too, but you know, we need to hear that too. I can certainly imagine pulling that in the last couple of days. Essential meaning, being grounded in everyday experience. Humility. The Oracle's message, there are times when the big dream is meant to lie dormant in your conscious so that you can pay attention to do the simple chores in your life. Consider why pruning a tree is the forerunning of delighting in the beautiful blooms. I love the way she words these things. I love you. Call it Baron Reed. When it is in full blossom, the mundane act of pulling off dead leaves, watering the soil, and then leaving it to be let nature take its course, is an important step in manifesting. Taking your attention away from your goal brings you into a state of receptivity. This is the deeper purpose for releasing attachment. Oh my gosh, that's an important one. Ever learning. When you engage in everyday tasks in a meditative, contemplative way, you clear your energy to receive your aha moments, which brings you ever closer to what you seek. I feel really at peace reading this to you. Chop wood. I like it. Then we go on to your super attractor manifestation message, and I say affirmation or mantra. This is feeling that manifestation that you want, the life you want into reality. You have everything it takes. We all do, Aries, and so do all of your connections. So if they have something to share and everything, When they feel a certain way, feel it with them and see what occurs, okay? Ooh, I like this. This is the red power number, like a red fiery Aries. And I always think of it as our root chakra, which is all about our grounded, you know, stable, permanent security that we seek, right? My super attractive power comes from how I feel, my faith and love, and the joy I put out. It absolutely does. You know about feeling. You get real fired up. And so that's for you. And I really, really appreciate you stopping in and being here with me. And, you know, your time is valuable. And I would love to have you come back. So please to do so. And in the meantime, enjoy and revel in the relaxation, because you know how you are. And as soon as all this goes forward next month, it's going to be all in the rearview mirror. So enjoy this present moment. Enjoy what's coming forward. And just enjoy in general. Until next time, thanks so much. Bye for now.